Growing up, I was always interested in foster care. I would beg my parents to please take in children, which they did not want to hear anything about. And so while we were even dating, I approached him with the idea of someday doing foster care and adoption, and he was open to it. About 6 months into our marriage, we had our first miscarriage, first of 6. So we knew that we were going to have some struggles with having our own biological children.
Somewhere around 2 years after we were married, just with different things that were happening in my life, I just started feeling the call and the tug. And so one night I sat down, I said, hey, I said, I'd be willing to go for this foster thing if that's what you want to do.
And then we attended one of the information events and really just loved the heart. And our first placement was our oldest daughter, Aaliyah. She's now 8. She was placed with us when she was 3.5. Mm-hmm. And Carson was born in December of 2011 as well. And they were adopted. Carson was 1.5 years. It was June 13th of 2013 that they were adopted. And Aaliyah was 5.5 at the time then. We have a good relationship with our birth mother. We see each other twice a year. And I just feel like it's healthy for the children to interact with her. And it seems to always go well.
And then we would have got Alyssa back when we also got her as a newborn as well. The mom had someone else arranged to pick her up from the hospital, and she never showed up, and so they called us to see if we'd be willing to take her. So we
had 2 hours to get to Reading and pick her up.
Yeah, it was a real rush ordeal. But yeah, then we brought her home, and
she was feisty from the get-go. Oh my goodness, we picked her up and she lifted her head up and looked around at us, and she was just 2 days old. 2014 October is when we finalized her adoption.
The baby just turned 1 about a week ago, and I work for a nonprofit, working for widows, and I was in this home working for this lady, this widow, older lady of course, and she had a son and his wife that live in the same house with her and an aunt, and so I've been in and out, got to know them, and then showed up for work one day, and she said, yeah, you'll never guess where they're at. They're having a baby. And I said, well, I didn't even know they were pregnant. She said they didn't either. And I was kind of just thought I had heard her say before that there were some other children and stuff. So I started talking to her before I left. And she said, yeah, there's other children there placed in tour with the other grandma, and the other one's in foster care, and that this one's going to be placed right into foster care as well. I said, well, let me talk to my wife. I said, I'm not sure that. I told her in a lot of ways we weren't even sure we were going to continue fostering. We were kind of looking for another boy for a brother for Carson, and I said, well, let us call our caseworker, see what happens, and so I called. I called my wife up.
So he called me, and he's like, honey, I just really think we need to take this baby girl. Like, are you kidding me? It's kind of everything we had not talked about. And so I said, well, I'll call Kobe's. I'll call Sharon, just get him off my back. And thinking there's probably nothing they can do anyway, like they probably didn't even get a referral for this baby girl and everything. So I called, asked to speak with Sharon, and was placed on the phone with her and kind of gave my spiel. Just said that there's a baby girl born in Lancaster this morning, and I knew her name and all kinds of information that Sharon didn't even know at the time. After I got done talking, she was just quiet for a while, and then she said, I'm sitting here with my mouth hanging open. She's like, we were just ready to call you guys. We were trying to decide if we should call you, but we knew you wanted a boy. But they really wanted someone in our general area because of the siblings that Annika has, being from this area as well. So we just took that as confirmation that she was supposed to be ours. And who am I to say the family that God has in mind for us? And just knowing that, if you have biological children, you can't pick and choose which gender or anything like that. And it was just a good lesson for me again to just surrender to God, for what He has for us, because I can't imagine our family any other way now. So I just found a whole new picture of adoption as a whole since adopting children, just even in how Christ adopted us. I am a part of Him. I'm a part of Christ. I am His daughter. He took me in as His own, and that just became so clear to me after after adoption, after the process.
And so for us, it's a matter of answering that calling, and it's exciting too to be able to know that we can walk in what we feel that one of the main things that Christ said is to take care of the orphans and things. Definitely felt called to it.
We loved the heart and the mission behind Kobe's, just the whole Christian orientation. We loved that. That's a lot what drew us there.
We can't imagine not being with an agency like Kobe's. I mean, the support in every aspect, from the foster process through the whole adoption process, and even post-adoption. Even just their help and support with even post-adoption stuff, it has been tremendous. And the many different things throughout the year that Kobe's does with the Christmas banquet and appreciation banquet, just different things like that. Why allows our kids to have a chance to intermingle with other foster adopted children, and
it gives a good sense of family.
Yeah, it gives a good sense of family and community within the Kobe's network, and that's just some of the many things that we thoroughly enjoy with being with Kobe's. So yeah, we've been blessed with having support through our families and with our church as well, which has been great.
Yeah. Especially our parents, like just helping out in childcare, and if mom knows I'm having a rough day, she'll just come and clean my house. I was super blessed with that, and just shows me in little ways that she is supportive, and they accept them as their own biological grandchildren, which is huge for us as well. And just knowing that we're being prayed for, I think is huge too. Just knowing that, the staff spends time in prayer for those of us in the field, so to speak. And just the support that the ministry as a whole has from other churches in the area, and, that kind of thing. It's just feels good.